कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम। कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम होता क्या है? ठीक है, तो कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम का मेन यूज़ होता है हमें किसी पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट की लोकेशन निकालने में, राइट। हम सब ने माइनक्राफ्ट तो खेला ही हुआ है, ठीक है। माइनक्राफ्ट तो हम सब ने खेला ही हुआ है। माइनक्राफ्ट में हमें, अगर हम फ़ोन या किसी भी पीसी में खेलते तो एक्स और वाई कोऑर्डिनेट्स में हमें कुछ नंबर्स दिखाई देते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल 59.007 समथिंग एंड 60.0067 समथिंग। ये दो कोऑर्डिनेट्स, और एक होता है जेड कोऑर्डिनेट, एक होता है जेड कोऑर्डिनेट। इसमें भी हमें कुछ भी नंबर्स दिखाने को देते हैं, ठीक है। मैं एक स्क्रीनशॉट लगाऊंगा, उसमें पता चल जाएगा कि किस चीज़ की बात हो रही है। नाउ ये जो चीज़ें हैं, इनको हम लोग सिंपली कोऑर्डिनेट्स बोलते हैं। अब इसका यूज़ आपका सिंपली एप्लीकेशन में आपको बता दूं, जिससे आपको ये समझ में आ जाए कि राइट, वाई डू वी यूज़ दीज थिंग्स एंड वाई इज कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम सो मच इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट वी आर टीचिंग इट इन सो मैनी थिंग्स इन मैथ्स. So the basic use of this is to find a person, a point on a map. For example, there is a map. Let's say this is a map of India. This is a map of India. Now we want to locate, let's say any city. For example, we want to locate the map of India, Uttar Pradesh. So the best way that our historians or our mathematicians found to locate the place or a person in a map or a single sheet of paper is to divide the sheet into many horizontal vertical lines as well as many horizontal lines. Now let's say we want to find this circle in the sheet of paper. So what our mathematicians thought, that we want to find a single point at this circle. For example, let's say this is the point, this is the point that we want to find in this sheet of paper. So now we will pass a vertical line through this, and we'll pass a horizontal line through this. Now the place where this horizontal line and this vertical line will meet will be the point which we want to find out. So this line and this line will be unique to only this point, because this is the only point where these two lines are gonna meet. So let's say I say this line is A and I say this line is B. So the mathematician said that wherever line A and line B meet, desired point is located, right. Now this whole grid of vertical and horizontal lines was called, this whole grid of horizontal and vertical lines of horizontal and vertical lines was called a grid, was called not a grid but Cartesian plane. A Cartesian plane. Plane is nothing but a 2D sheet of paper, 2D sheet, and it can be a rectangle as well as square, or any shape you want. We for the sake of simplicity, we take rectangle as a rectangle or a square, right? So now what the main use of how we actually find points is like this. So now we are not actually focusing on the z coordinate, because that is not part of the curriculum of it comes way later in like 11th and 12th, but we are gonna mainly focus on the x and y axis. So how are we focused on now? How our mathematicians actually thought of using these grids is this way. A Cartesian plane is made up of two axes, the x axis, which is horizontal, and the y axis, which is vertical. So this will be the y axis and this will be the x axis. This is x axis and this is y axis. So instead of A and B, we A and B lines, we kind of just made two lines for simplicity so that we can actually display points very easily. So now what the mathematician did, we said let this point be origin. The point where the initial x and y axis is actually meet is known as origin, and we gave at some distance, let's say 1 centimeter, this is known as the scale. At we gave different numbers, for example 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Similarly here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now let's say we want to find this point, this particular point. So what are so the by the previous concept that we learned, we drew a horizontal line through this point and we drew a vertical line through this point. So now the line A and B, where the line A and B meet, will be the point that we want to decide. So instead of saying the line is A and B, we instead looked at the numbers that this line A and this line B actually crossed at the y-axis. So let the line A crosses the x-axis at 2 and line B crosses the y-axis at 3. So we say the point is located at line A, which crosses x-axis at 2, and line B, which crosses y-axis at 3. So this method was used so that we only need to plot two lines at a single piece of paper. Got it? So after this so now what the mathematicians called these 2 points, these 2, 3 point are called the coordinates, of the desired points. With the x-axis, the first one, the x-axis one known as abscissa, and the y-axis one known as ordinate. So this was the point of the Cartesian plane being formed, so that we can actually see the position of a particular point, a particular person, or anything, a particular place even. So the main real life application is to find the location simply. Thank you.